Hello, everybody. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is the Connecticut Sports Talent Show, where we talk all things talents in Connecticut. And on tonight's show, I'm pleased to have not one, not two, but three players from the Rocky Hill football program and also the captains as well. We'll go left to right on my screen, starting with Frankie Guerrera, senior wide receiver and defensive back. Say
Hey
hello.
guys. Hey guys.
I also have Alex Peruta, senior. He's a linebacker, nickel, and slot back. Alex, say hello.
Hey guys.
And I have MJ Torres, senior wide receiver and linebacker. Say hello.
Hi guys, how you doing?
I appreciate all of you guys coming on. This is going to be a lot of fun being able to talk a little Rocky Hill athletics and more so football. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys are the first Rocky Hill players or coaches to come on here. So hopefully this will attract more attention for Rocky Hill to come on here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to start with MJ first. Since he was the last one to be introduced, start with him first to kind of get things going.
Yeah.
I want to start with last season a little bit. I understand 5-5 is not the best of records, but when you guys start out the season so well, what was it like as far as kind of the thinking, the mindset? I mean, things were working pretty well for you guys early on.
Yeah. So early on, we definitely had come from a pretty bad last season. So that left a pretty sour taste in all of our mouths. And we wanted to make a name for ourselves, like show that we aren't just a doormat to these teams, And we got to work. We had Tyrese. We had a lot of position changes. Obviously, Tyrese from wide receiver to quarterback, which ultimately helped us a lot. We had Frankie. We just had a lot of people who really wanted it.
Now I'm going to go Alex here. Now, speaking of the quarterback going from wide receiver to QB, I saw a lot of video and it just seemed, and again, it stinks because I couldn't have been able to broadcast that game, but it would have been cool to see that. Being on the field, some of the plays he was making, I feel like is something that you can't teach. It's kind of God-given. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, he was just incredible. Just being able to like find a hole, like sometimes the play would just completely blow up, they know where we were going, and he would just be able to find a hole, get like juke out the defenders, take it for a touchdown. So he was kind of like a one-man show sometimes, and a lot of people didn't realize like behind the scenes how much work he put in to just like really like study the film, realize where the defenders would be just to put himself in position, and also on defense as well, just being able to like understand the plays, read them, read where the ball's going, and get the interceptions in all the games that he played.
Now, Frankie, how long have you been on the varsity level for?
My junior year was my first year, actually.
Okay, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So my freshman year was my first year ever playing football, really. Since I played in second grade, but that was my only year. And then sophomore year got canceled. Not canceled, we had the 7-on-7 COVID season. So it was a freshman sophomore team and then a junior senior team. So this was like my true real season of varsity, my junior year.
So realistically, you're extremely raw to the game of football. You're probably still learning so much as far as the game. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I feel like earlier in the season, there was like almost a learning curve. Like the little things I like, the basics I could do, but like every game I would learn something new, learn how to like, do different things and just get used to the speed of the game also.
So missing that sophomore, I'll stay with Frankie here. So missing that sophomore year, and you talk about the learning curve, was it the speed of the players? Was it the speed of the game? What was the most difficult thing for you early on in your junior year that you had to get adjusted to?
I would say actually like defense and tackling for me personally, because 7-on-7 prepared me for receiver. I was fine with that. But on defense, I never really got live action, full speed tackling like that. So that was definitely like the physicality of it. Definitely took me some time to get used to it. But I feel like after a couple games, I was right where I should be.
I'll go to Alex for this next question. As far as the team aspect, looking at who was returning last year, were there a lot of players as far as kind of what Frankie was dealing with being a first-year varsity guy? Was the team last year majority a little bit half and half? What was it like last year?
Yeah, so last year we had a lot of seniors who have played like their whole life. So it's definitely like good because we had a lot of young kids too that were stepping up, playing like the second string right behind them. So they got to learn right behind the seniors who have been really playing their whole life. So, they got their own reps. The seniors did great. And then the second strings would go in, learn right behind them, follow in their footsteps. And it seems like everything just kind of worked out.
Now you talk about, and I'll stay with Alex really quick here. Now you talk about the senior aspects, and there was a lot of them, it sounds like. And then you talk about the second stringers. Was it something where the staff was trying to get, because of the lost year and trying to get, seeing the talent that was coming back for the next couple of years? Was it something where it was interchangeable? Were there a lot of pieces coming in and out, or was it mainly just the same few guys?
So it was a lot of like the same guys, but we would make position changes based on who we played that week. And a lot of the young athletes we had last year who are even like juniors, seniors now, like they developed a lot. And our team is very athletic. So we had the like availability to just rotate, like a sophomore last year, put him in for a junior and just see like what happened. If he did good, he would get more reps. If not, then he would go back to the field, have to learn some things.
I'll go to MJ here. As far as football is concerned, are you in the same boat as Frankie where it kind of came late, or has football kind of been, with you your entire life thus far?
So I've been playing football since I was about 6 years old. I was actually playing with him Alex Peruta, my whole entire life. So me and Peruta, we have that kind of connection that can't be, given to people. Like it had to be worked for. And like me and him worked so well together. Me at the running back position and him at the halfback. I just know what hole to hit, where he's gonna be, how fast he's gonna hit it. It really helps us ultimately. And so I kind of get everything kind of click. Frankie being a first year player really since high school and freshman year, I didn't really experience that because I've been playing my entire life.
Now you talk about playing with Alex, what seems like what's been most of your, if not all of your football career thus far. Now, with both of you being linebackers, that had to be a pretty cool thing, being able to kind of work off of each other.
We definitely shut some teams down together where we were not to be we had a I'm at a loss for words right now. I can't.
Yeah. So I mean, I can even show you a clip. The chemistry between like me and MJ, just at linebacker and even like running back, halfback is insane. I know there's a clip from the Farmington game where if you look at me and him side by side at linebacker, we make the same exact read step. We turn our heads the same way. We take our drop the same exact time. We're basically just like clones of each other. That's just because we learn the same things at the same time. We've been playing against each other. We know if someone goes outside, you got to get the cut back. We got to be there for each other. So
you got to send me that clip because I'd like to see that.
I will. I definitely
it's kind of creepy in a way.
It is
creepy. When I say like our hands, our heads, our feet, just everything was lined up like in sync. It's everything.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a couple years ago when Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch from the Dallas Cowboys were kind of working well off of each other. And, they had a fantastic year. It was really, it was only 1 year. And then now Jalen Smith, I don't even know where he is now. But was it kind of like that? Because those guys really fed off of each other and it played out well for the Cowboys and for them.
Yeah, definitely. All of the players on our team feed off each other, like our energy. And since a lot of our team is like young, but we have a lot of experience since, our coaches, like, thank God our coaching staff allowed the young kids to get reps last year. Now we have young talent who has experience. So now we know what each other are doing. We have the chemistry, we have the talent. We just got to put it all together.
I'll go to Frankie here. And, Alex speaking about putting it together. For you, obviously, you're, the type of clay that's still being molded. And I feel like there's a lot of projectability with you. Do you feel like as the season progressed, Frankie, that you started to gain more confidence? And I'm sure you're a very confident player, but I'm sure there were times you were like, geez, I just can't do this, or I can't do that, or whatever the case may be. Do you feel like over time that things started to go in your favor a little bit more?
Definitely. Like towards the end of the season, I feel like everything just started to flow. Like me and Tyrese's chemistry, he would know when like I would get out of my break, when to throw it. I would know the ball would be there. Just stuff like that. The little things that weren't there in the beginning of the season started to click and started to flow each and every game, even like at halftime, the next half, things would change. I would get used to it, learn from every little mistake and play.
I'll go to Alex with this question. I'm just looking at the schedule from last year, and something that caught my eye was obviously the Bloomfield game was a pretty one-sided affair. Not going to go into that. But a lot of times, and I've always mentioned this on my broadcast, that typically for any high school team, how they respond after a game like that, win or loss, really kind of speaks to who they are and kind of what's on the inside of all of them, players and coaches. And you guys won the next two games against Northwest Catholic And if I remember right, it was against Lewis Mills. So you guys responded pretty well. What was it like after that Bloomfield game during practice as you were preparing for Northwest Catholic?
A lot like our team last year, we really wanted to win. And same thing with this year, we're all dogs. We want to win. Like winning is the only thing we find fun. So after the loss, no one likes getting beat. And, Bloomfield was a very good team. They made it to the state championship. So all credit to them. But, that didn't settle well with us. So we knew Northwest Catholic, like we had a lot of talent, a lot of size on them. So we knew it would kind of be like an easier game, get back into the swing of things. Then we played Lewis Mills, who definitely was a step up from Northwest Catholic, and that was a dogfight. That game was very fun, in the mud. It was a lot of running. I remember our first drive down the field actually took a whole quarter. So we definitely had the determination to just drive downfield. And practice, we were just locked in the whole time. We definitely flipped a switch. We were like, we got to be locked in. We got to stay focused on the goal. So, yeah.
I'll go to MJ here. The last 3 games, Talon, Avon, and Cromwell Portland, they were losses, but I felt like especially Talon and Cromwell Portland, those were games that really could have been, could have changed in a lot of ways, potentially the season, depending how things would have fell at the time. Is there one particular game that you feel like kind of still in the back of your mind, if you're just sitting back, just relaxing, you're like, if we could go back and take that game, maybe we kind of reverse history a little bit as far as last year?
Yeah, so obviously I'm gonna have to go with Cromwell because everybody, we're obviously the underdogs in that game. No one was expecting even a fight from us, and we go out there punching them, shutting them down. Like they were, you could see them panicking, not knowing what to do. Like, holy crap, this is about to be a letdown. And it's just we were just killing them the first 3 quarters. And then that kick return, it just shut everybody down. Like our heads were so high and you could just see everybody's heads go, wow. And that we lost all our momentum. People started to get down on themselves. And that's what ultimately killed us. Our offense started to get sloppy. Tyrese got tired. We all got tired. It sucks, but if I could go back in time, I would definitely make some different play calls. And just tell everyone, it's just one play, don't let it affect us. But unfortunately, at that time period, we didn't know how to take it because just, young team, and we had much to learn. We still have much to learn. But one thing Coach Dance does do well is every time keep our heads up, as long as we do our best, we did everything we could, nothing to be ashamed about.
You think about if Rocky Hill won that game, I think it would have been probably one of the biggest upsets, along when, Prep won their first game against, I think it was Hand. Game Time didn't have them in their top 10. I know Naugatuck Ansonia on Thanksgiving, where Naugatuck defeated Ansonia on Ansonia's field for the first time since 2010. That was a fun sight. And, you think about what could have been. And I just feel like you never know what can happen in the future and what you guys can learn from that. I'll go to Frankie here. Going through that, Cromwell Portland and just the other losses in general, do you feel like, because there's one of 2 ways, you can either learn from your mistakes or you can repeat it. Do you feel like the team was able to learn through that and was able to take that into the off season as we prepare now for the 2022 season?
Yeah, definitely. Like branching off of what MJ said, in the Cromwell game, everyone's head was down when the momentum switched. And it was almost like they're like, all right, now we lost. The momentum's not on our side. But I feel like now, since we already went through that, we can build off of it and know, like, just because they scored once and it's still a tied game, we could still fight and get through it and keep our heads up and go win that game. And, like, see who has the drive to just keep going that one last play and not just put our heads down and sulk.
As we now lead up to now the potential or will be season in 2022, what is the biggest thing that you've seen that is different from last year?
What are you talking to me?
Alex.
Oh, all right.
Alex.
So a big thing that I see that's different is just like the determination of the team. Because for a lot of the seniors on the team, it's our last year. And a lot of the juniors who are playing varsity understand that. And, they're here to help us. They want to help us win. And that's just the goal of the team. Everyone wants to win the ring. And we have so much talent that it's almost like we understand that, we can do it. We just got to put it together. So it's really on us to do it. So the determination of the team, it's just it's a lot different from last year, but it's different in a good way, where it's like last year we knew we would be good, but we just didn't know how good. But this year we know we can be really good, and we're striving to get there.
And just looking at, and I'm going to go to MJ here, looking at your schedule for this upcoming season, you've got a couple games that are out of league, which I think is really, really cool to kind of get outside the league and see what else is out there. And then the last game of the season, Cromwell Portland. So if you want to be able to exact your revenge, get that, get back at them, you're going to have your opportunity. What says you, MJ?
So we know we have a lot of talent this year, and like Frankie said, we after our loss to Cromwell last year, we knew what we had to work on. We were very vicious in the first half, but we need to work on continuing that ferocity, and keep it throughout the whole game, and not let momentum change affect us and how we play our game. So building up, our schedule is a little more, it definitely toned down from last year's, but we still have some dog fights in there. We still have Tallinn. We have New Platte. It's still going to be some dog fights, and I think it's going to help us build our team.
Now I'll go to Alex back again. Now, speaking of Tallinn, they don't have their quarterback anymore. Nathan's gone. He went somewhere else, so that's going to be an adjustment. I'm sure they'll come. They're always going to fight. Their head coach always has that team ready. Now he's been there for a couple of years. But like you mentioned, Tallinn, Cromwell, Portland. I gotta go back on the schedule and look, but there's just opportunities where for you guys, if you can learn from last year, you guys are in class double S. I mean, it's not world beaters. I mean, there's a lot of very good teams as far as in the Pequot, but it could be a case where you lose more than 2 games, especially with the way those teams are, you could be out. So it's like what MJ said. It's a dogfight every single week. Have to win.
Yeah, no, we definitely are coming different this year. And just because, like I said, a lot of the games this year we're taking very personal. At least I can speak for all 3 of us. Last year, it was kind of just football, especially it was our first year back. We were just trying to get back into the swing of things. And by the end of the season, we definitely all felt the personal level. And I know for all 3 of us, that definitely carried over to this year. Just in the scrimmages, I feel it like it's just a fire burning inside of us to, just go out and win. And anything short of a win is just like, it's on us because we know we can beat every team. It's just if we got to put it together and execute.
I'll go to Frankie here. Is there any particular saying or phrase that's been used now leading up to this season for the Rocky Hill football program?
I would just say work hard. Like coaches say every day, work hard in practice. Don't take like any rest off of reps. Go 100% every time. Try to push yourself so you're not wasting your own time. You're getting better every day. Even the little things coming out of your breaks, just working on coming out fast, cuts, all that stuff, just getting better at that and working hard.
I appreciate you guys all coming on. This has been a lot of fun. One more question for each one of you. I'll start with MJ here. Any personal goals that you have for yourself? And by the way, don't say state championships because I hear that all the time. Personal, selfish goals for 1 second. MJ, what's yours?
Me personally, my personal goal last year, I was pretty close to 1,000 rushing yards, being that Tyrese ran more than me. This year, I want to try to hit that. I know it's a lot, but I really think I can do it. I've been putting in work. Me and Peruta, we've been going through our offense, blocking, our blocking schemes. I've been working on my speed personally, because I know that's some area I lack at, but I've been working that throughout the summer. Definitely got quicker. But that's my personal goal. I want to hit 1,000 yards, and maybe I could see how my football career goes from there.
Alex, same question for you.
Yeah, definitely all state this year, man. That's a big one for me. Last year, I really wanted to reach for that. I fell short, went all conference. I felt like I had a really good season, but there's definitely stuff that I can do more, and I just want to have a big year, big season, win a bunch of games, just go all state, ball out.
Frankie, same question for you.
My personal goal would be the same as Alex, to make all state this year. Last year, just like him, fell short, just made all conference. But this year, I feel like there's a lot left in me and a lot that I have to prove this season. And that would be my end goal, just to be all state.
And with all you guys also being seniors, it'll be your last time wearing the uniform as far as for this season. So I'll go real quick again, MJ going on down. What's it been as far as to be a Rocky Hill football player? What's it meant to you?
I've been a Rocky Hill football player my entire football career. In the youth, I had my dad coaching me. I had, a lot of dads that are to the players now in the high school were coaches for the youth. So like I know everybody on a personal level, and like I've been Rocky Hill football always have a place in my heart because it's the only place I played football at. And, being the last season I put on this uniform is definitely a big impact on me. And like the question you asked before, is there like a slogan we use? I did want to add on to that. After every dynamic warm up we do, Peruta brings everyone together. And his main thing he says that I really like is take everything personal. Everything needs to be taken personal, because if you don't take it personal, you're just going to mess around. And I really like that, because if you don't take it personal, you're not going to want to get better, go get and go, hit teams back. We're going to be underdogs in most of these games. I just want everyone to take everything personal and give their 100%.
I like that. Alex, same question for you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing football for Rocky Hill for like 12, 13 years, same as MJ. It's been a long time, and I always took pride in it. I'm a very prideful person. I love, repping the town. As you see, we all have our Rocky Hill gear on right now. I always wear my Rocky Hill gear. I love saying I'm a Rocky Hill football player just because it's something I hold dear to my heart, and I'm proud of it. Even through the youth, we were always a dominant team. And, we got into high school, things weren't too good. We were 2-8. But a lot of the seniors, the kids in our classes, the class below us, we wanted to flip things around. And we certainly did. And I'm going to tell you, this year, you're going to see a lot better. So we're definitely turning the program around.
Frankie, same question for you.
So my football career is obviously different from theirs. Coming in as a freshman and like actually joining late on the team, I could say it's personal because it's kind of like the team really welcomed me with open arms. There wasn't like, I don't know how to say this. It wasn't like, I didn't really have problems with the team. Like, it wasn't like, oh, new kid, you're not going to do all this stuff, but open arms. And I think as a team goal, like we want to be known as something else, like within the school. Cause when I first got there my freshman year, 2-8, we were known as like the bad team in the school, cocky kids, all that. And I feel like there was improvement at 5-5, and we're getting more respect in the town and within the school. And this year we just want to change that.
Guys, I do feel like that there is something as far as in the Rocky Hill program. And like, MJ said, I think all you guys, maybe even the team thinks so, as far as you guys being underdogs. And you know what? If that, is something where you guys are going to get the most out of your abilities, do whatever it takes you. Every team is built different. And it seems like you guys have something that you are using as motivation, but also what you guys truly believe. You guys truly believe that you guys are underdogs. So go out there and prove everybody wrong. That's all you guys can do.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
MJ, I appreciate you coming on. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you. I thank you for having me.
No problem. Alex, as always, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you being able to follow me as you have and sending in your question when I had the NFL quarterback on who's now with the Lions and Boyle from Xavier. That was a lot of fun. Appreciate you coming on, man.
That was awesome. Thank you.
And then Frankie, last but not least, appreciate you coming on, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
That'll wrap things up here on the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe. And our CT stands for Connecticut Talent. I'm Bargeri. Find them all. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and be well.